message for the ladies and gentlemen around the world and all the ships at sea.
We all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us.
So choose wisely. Subscribe to It's Erik Nagel wherever shows are found, on whatever platform you choose. And as always, leave us a positive review. Would you kindly?
I am actually really, I'm a little starstruck because I have the gentleman sitting to my stage left.
I don't think you know who you booked on this show.
Oh, your name is Erik Nagel. I know. I've known you for 15. We've worked in this or in the same presence of each other for 6 months, but I've known you for 15 years. To me, you are a legitimate broadcasting legend. Sorry, I'm
Tell
a fan.
other people that, please.
Legend.
I'm going to use that as a quote.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. It's a huge drop off. It's like basically you've got Howard Stern. You have Anthony, Erik Nagel, and then it's like, and then people are, in terms of the comedy or the stuff I like to listen to, there's not much more than that.
It's Erik Nagel, and it starts now.
What up, my Nagel? 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 Talking about George R.R. Martin, not writing. Talking Marvel versus DC, who's more exciting? Talking George Lucas's legacy, high-scoring centipede. Talking Gittle's new beef burrito recipe. Talking about Stephanie McMahon versus Sable. Talking about the Cybermen versus the Weeping Angels. Don't blink, the dialect's more deadly than you think. Talking summer ale, blueberry pale, craft beer, pouring drinks. What up, my Nagel? Deadpool 2 features Cable. Talking Funko Pop, celebrity signed a label. Talking online gaming, bitching and complaining. Talking E-Rock, kissing the feet of Matt Groening. Warner Brothers properties, Superman's a mockery. Weird Al concerts, Kevin Smith's debauchery. Rick and Morty fun zone. The Lego build team, can I have your attention? Possible Donkey Kong kill screen. What up, my Nagel? What up, my Nagel? What up, my Nagel? What up, my Nagel?
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear.
It's Erik Nagel.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of It's Erik Nagel. That is me. Over in the upside down is Gittles.
What up?
Over in the right side up, returning after a bit of sabbatical, is Trevor.
Hello, Miss Lady.
And over behind the green door is our pal Matt OG.
Hello.
And a porn reference for people over 50, for you youngins, if your dad had a projector somewhere hidden in the house, that's how you had to watch it. But now, thanks to the internet, you can just type in Behind the Green Door and see all the loveliness that entailed into that movie. But that has nothing to do with the fact that Matt OG is here. Hi, Matt.
No, not at all.
Welcome back.
I was going to say, that's a green flag. That's not a door.
Well, that is sort of a door. Matt goes behind it and pees out the window.
Unless my beard is somehow indicative of the beards in that film.
Indicative.
In which case...
Hold on, I went to Google behind.
Okay. While he does that, 651-SMITHERS is the phone number. 651-764-8437 is the number to get in touch with the program. It's Erik Nagel across the board on social media to reach the show as well. And this is a bit of a homecoming, if you will. Everybody's home for the holidays, home from their travels, home from college, home from wherever they are around the country. We're all back. And it's only a matter of time before we all start hating each other and then never talk again for another year.
I'm only here because I was told there was going to be punch and pie.
Where's the punch and pie?
Tell them we'll have punch and pie. We're not gonna have punch and pie. My people will come if they think we have punch and pie.
Anyway.
I was here for the free hat.
Google punch and pie.
Oh my god, do you not get
Do you
the
not
reference?
get that one?
Jesus, Trevor.
Oh my
I have
god.
no idea what you're talking
That's
about.
South Park.
It's a South Park reference.
Trevor's like, I don't get that reference.
The
Give me a
reference
liver
over 10
sandwich.
years old.
Is it that old? How old are you? Like in kindergarten when that joke came out?
I guess, maybe.
Oh, Jesus. He was at the party looking for punch and pie.
He was the kid. He was the kid. Literally, he was
See,
the
what
kid.
I thought was I'm only here not to get fined, so I went with the Marshawn Lynch reference.
Trevor, are you Butters?
By the way, if you watch some of those older episodes, even a few years ago, one was on late at night. It was the one where Cartman puts himself into freeze to go to 3 weeks in the future to get the Nintendo Wii. And he winds up 500 years in the future and it turns into Buck Rogers.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was a really bizarre hysterical episode. And the only thing that didn't hold up was that he was referencing a Nintendo Wii. Everything else still held up. And you're watching how ridiculous. He had a phone where he's crank calling the past and he's trying to talk to himself, and his self is yelling at him, calling him an asshole and all this other stuff like he tends to do. But anyway, old South Park and current South Park still funny and relevant in a lot of ways.
The show's still on?
Yes, it is. It's going to probably break the Simpsons record because that show has no signs of stopping, and those guys have no signs of stopping. And we are thankful for that. Matt O.G., how have you been, sir?
I've been, I'm a busy man. I have lots of things going on, but busy is, I guess, I don't know, busy's in my nature. It just sort of happens that way.
We should be calling him Matt Endeavor. Ha ha ha. All the endeavors he's been on.
When Matt took some time from the program here, he went out, he was doing... he needed a break, and then all of a sudden Matt's like, I'm going to do a million other things.
Well,
and no, this is good because I laughed. I'm like, so much for his sabbatical. He was tired. He needs some time to himself. And then he added more stuff to his plate, but I've not seen Matt happier since he's done this. You're still doing geek stuff.
I am.
You have your Twitch channel now, which is twitch.com/geekstuffog.
That's right.
And he has 2 scheduled programs that he does on Monday nights and Thursday nights.
Right.
And Matt is just having a gay old time while he's doing this.
I am having a good time. Yeah, Thursday nights is kind of like a free-for-all. It's my fireside chat. Except once a month I do like a comic book club where everybody that's participating picks one graphic novel or trade. We all read it during the course of the month, and then we get together for a stream and a chat. We did Infinity War last month because it was
spoilers
Endgame. Yeah. And the upcoming month, or this month, we have the Longbow Hunters coming up. And then on Monday nights I play DnD.
Well,
and Gills joins me normally.
Well,
I do. Yeah.
I want to talk about this. So on Thursdays, I've popped in here and there when I remember that he's on or I see his posting that he's on. I'll run downstairs and I'll hop in, and it's pretty much Matt in front of the camera playing a game or talking to people in the chat room. And we're all sitting around like children hearing a story from Grandpa about the good old days. And I think it was last week you were playing the Mario Wii game.
I was playing the new Super Mario U Deluxe for the Switch.
So they've imported it over from Wii U because that was a horrible system, and it's on the Switch.
I've never seen Matt anger playing a video game.
Well,
oh my God,
that's what I want to get to because Matt's anger started to translate into my anger, and I felt something I have not felt in years while watching Matt play. So Matt's playing this game, and I was like, you know what? I never really spent time with this game. It's a beautiful looking game. It looks like a lot of fun. I said I should go and revisit that now that it's on the Switch platform. But Matt gets to some portions of the game where I'm starting to like jerk in the direction like how I would hold the controller if I was playing, and Matt's not doing the things that I'm feeling he needs to be doing, right? And Matt's just getting more and more frustrated by he's like if I don't do this one more time, if I don't do this, I'm turning this thing off. And then he goes and plays it and dies immediately and goes, that's it, turning it off. So while watching him do this, I had this feeling in me that I have not felt in years. And that is the feeling of if you have a younger sibling or your girlfriend is playing the game, right? You start itching to grab the controller from them because you know they're doing it wrong. And I wanted to just go, I just wanted to grab it and go, give it to me, let me do this. And I'm just sitting there and I was like, wow, I have not felt this feeling in so long while I'm getting anxious watching Matt play this game.
The truth is that night when I was done streaming, right? And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed in a little bit. But I took the Switch into the bedroom with me and I fired the game back up and I beat that level that I was stuck on. I beat it in like 2 minutes on the first try.
Yeah.
The problem is, right, I'm trying to play the game and I'm trying to stream, that's easy enough, but I'm also trying to interact with whatever's going on in the chat room because that's what Twitch is about. Right. I mean, some streamers just ignore the chat room and play, but I don't want to do that. I want to kind of interact. And so, I'm looking at 2 separate screens, and in a game like Mario, where some of the jumps that you have to make are...
I like how you said it correctly. I applaud you for it.
Yeah.
Mario.
Some of the jumps are tedious and delicate, let's just say.
Right.
If you move your eyes for a split second, you're going to fall in the fucking lava. Like, you can't avoid it. So that night I was playing and trying to chat with everybody, and it just fell apart fast. And then I got the hot flashes. Vapors.
Matt was close to hucking the controller down into the table there. Yeah, so while Matt's getting angry, I'm getting anxious, saying, "No, let me take the controller. I know what to do." And it was just funny because that's a childhood feeling that I don't think kids even today have anymore. Because most kids aren't playing two controllers next to each other on a console.
Exactly.
They're playing one controller with their friend online somewhere else. Unless it's a sports game, you're really not playing any games anymore that you need a second controller for two people to sit there and play.
Right.
That's why the Switch is awesome, because my friend has a Switch and we go over and we play like old school video games. We all sit in the room. We have 4 controllers and we play like Mario Party or Smash
Brothers.
It's fun. It's like being in high school again.
And I make sure I do it at least once a year. I make sure I do that.
And then when you throw it, it comes apart all over the place in a dramatic fashion. You're like, that was so worth it. Shit, that was $60.
But I mean, seriously, Switch is one of my favorite consoles in recent history.
It really has grown on me. Like I waited I think a year before I actually got one, right? I still am playing Super Mario Odyssey because I'm going back and trying to get every star, and I've never done that with a game, but I've had so much fun playing with it. And then I'm playing Breath of the Wild a little bit, and I just downloaded Smash Brothers, which I'll eventually get to. But then I put it down for a while, and I was doing Xbox and all these other things, and then it was a while I hadn't touched the damn thing, and I only picked it up recently, and I was like, I forgot how much fun this is again, because you get lost in so many other things.
Oh yeah,
that you can just sit down with this little handheld tablet with controllers and have genuine fun and not worry about like first person shooter anxiety or those kind of games where it's heavy competition. You're playing a game that's centralized just to one player, and you forget how much fun and how relieving that is to play.
Oh, absolutely. And they're all fun. Like even the games that I've played on there that are like really simple. Like I've downloaded some really like silly, simple games. Like this one game I download, it's The Flame and the Flood, I think is the name of the game. And the entire purpose of the game is you're playing this little kid after some sort of like horrific natural disaster, and you're on a raft. And you're just trying to navigate the waters, and you stop off at all these little islands along the way and like camp and gather supplies. But the game is never ending. It's like an old Atari game. Like there is no end point. The point of the game is just to survive as long as you can.
It's like Pitfall.
That's crazy.
Yeah, sort of.
When you hit the timer and you hear the noise, and it's like all done, and then you can still walk around aimlessly with no point to the game.
And it's a lot of fun, like, it's really just a check your brain at the door type of game, but it's fun. And the way that the Switch is built, it's just a fun console to play. So yeah, I'm enjoying the hell out of my Switch, and now that I can stream with it too, that's even better because it's just something else to play.
And that's sort of some of the things you do on Thursday night, but on Monday night, I've never been able to have a chance to pop in and see what you were doing until this week. And I got in. I think you had about half an hour left for what you guys were doing.
Yeah, you guys came in towards the end.
So you're playing a role-playing game. You're playing Dungeons and Dragons, multi-camera, camera on your makeshift world, if you will, for where you roll, and you're moving things around, and you're telling stories. And I got to say, I'm befuddled when I'm looking at this stuff because I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, and I know there's always new stories, new editions, they're always constantly it's downloadable content but in analog form,
sort of, yeah.
So you're telling stories, but then the players are acting it out as well. And based on what the players are saying, and there's people probably listening to this and say, how the hell do you not know what Dungeons and Dragons is? I knew the concept of it, but I never sat down and really ever played it or watched it. But then based on the players, going with your parameters and your settings, they can change the story as they go too, if it fits the direction of your story. Is that correct?
So the way that I'm playing is I'm not actually running any licensed Wizards of the Coast or Dungeons and the Dragons game. I've written it all myself. So I've created everything myself from scratch, pulling from things that I know from DnD and various other forms of pop culture and etc. But I keep it really open-ended. Like when I take notes or when I'm making notes each week before we play, I have like it's like a flow chart, right? And I have a couple of different things, and based on what and Gittles plays, so he understands, but based on what they do, that will affect how the game goes. So 2 weeks ago, I'll give you a little explanation.
A friend of yours asked you to say some MC rhymes? No?
Yes. Okay. So 2 weeks ago, I was running my game. Giddles plays in my game, as well as my friend George and my friend Mikey, and we were running a game. And they came to a point in the game right before we cut off for the night where they had a decision to make, right? And they had to go to one of two places to sort of continue the game. It was like a fork in the road. And they decided that they were going to go to this one spot in the world. It's a series of old ruins that they need to go and explore. And that's where the game left off. One of the other characters that I was sort of running in the background, like the NPC, you know, when you play any sort of, you know, there's always the characters that you interact with that is normally run by the computer, right? So I run those characters. So I took one of those characters and said, okay, I'm going to go to the other place with that character. And that's where we left the game. Unfortunately, Giddles wasn't able to join us this past Monday. He had another commitment, I think, with another DnD game, actually.
Yeah, my other DnD group.
So I didn't want to take a week off from the stream. So what I did was I took my other two players and I said, do me a favor, roll up two new characters. You're going to run the fork in the road. So Giddles, Mikey, and George's character were supposed to go to these ruins. This other guy was going to go to this town called Little Lake.
Okay.
I ran these guys through Little Lake. And the stories will re-merge back up next week.
Ah, okay. So this was like an offshoot.
It sort of, yes.
Okay.
But it's all part of the same story.
Fear the Walking Dead as part of The Walking Dead.
Gotcha. Right. Eventually they'll catch up and the timelines will meet.
Right.
This sounds like Destiny, honestly. It sounds like Destiny.
Well, look, all modern RPGs, computer RPGs, are somehow, some way influenced by classic games like Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, its footprint is in everything. And anytime you're playing an open world game where you have a million side quests, I mean, that's all Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
I really enjoy the fact that Giddles couldn't come play your Dungeons and Dragons game because he was playing another Dungeons and Dragons game. And what I really think we should upgrade his facility even more, where he'll have another computer behind him with another camera and the chair will spin. So while he's doing here, he fulfills his thing, he turns around and then joins Matt over on this game and then back and forth. And then on his channel streams this whole thing. It's like three levels of meta.
Because I'm doing it. I have another campaign, and we had signed up. I had forgotten like over a month ago for a date because we have like 7 people in that campaign. So trying to get everyone to coordinate is really hard. So if we can have a date, it's like, okay, I have to remember that I had this on the calendar. So I kind of fucked up, but moving forward,
it wasn't even a fuck up because we hadn't settled on Monday nights right away, and it was just sort of. But look, there's always a way to work around it, right? And we just figured it out. We did, but by no stretch of the imagination am I the only person that has ever done this. I mean, there's so many people do this. If you go to Twitch, there's 1,000 people doing this.
Well, your TV show that you love, that TV show that you love does this.
Critical Role has been doing it. Actually, yesterday marked the 4-year anniversary since they started streaming their game. Their first campaign ran for 2 years on Twitch, but it ran for 2 years at Matt Mercer's home before that. And their current campaign is about 1.5 years old. And the most amazing part about Critical Role, other than it's a fantastic show, like it's really entertaining. It's kind of like watching
it's like watching a table reading.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like watching a table reading. And all the people who play, they're all voice actors. You know a bunch of them. You know the voices that they do. Like Matt Mercer is McCree in Overwatch, as an example.
His girlfriend's Mercy.
Right, exactly. And
the one guy in the party plays Reinhardt. I'm Reinhardt with his big voice. And they're all voice characters.
Like Laura Bailey has done a bunch of voices in like Warcraft, but all this stuff. So, since we're just talking about stuff and we're the impact of this on culture and games and stuff like that, they launched a Kickstarter campaign. I think it's just over a week ago now.
Maybe a week ago now, yeah.
It was a week ago Monday, and they have raised $7.2 million.
Wow.
In over a week. It is now the 10th most funded campaign on Kickstarter. It is the #1 funded campaign for an animated or film.
What is it for? Like
it surpassed Mystery Science Theater. So what they did was they decided they wanted to take their characters from the original campaign that they ran, which was this campaign called Vox Machina, and they wanted to create an animated special, a 22-minute animated special
based on their gameplay.
No, actually, it was going to be
Based on the
original
story.
content, original story, but based on those characters. And they had their Kickstarter goal at $750,000. That's what they needed to make one 22-minute episode.
And these are characters they personally created for this game, or they
Correct.
adapted into the world of Dungeons
They
and Dragons?
created them.
Okay.
They created them. They raised the $750,000 in under 45 minutes. They broke $1 million in under an hour. They made... I think they broke 2 million in about 5 or 6 days.
It's pretty crazy. It was kind of like in Breaking Bad when they set up the fake website for the donations so that they go launder the money, and you just keep hearing the ding go off. That's like watching Kickstarter. It was just a timer going.
It couldn't keep up with it couldn't keep up with it. So,
so what are we doing wrong here?
Yeah, I know. They still have 36 days left to go, and they're at 7.2 million.
So how many episodes are they doing now? Are they making it into a movie? I forgot.
So they're doing
ridiculous.
Yeah, they're doing 2 episodes that are going to be like origin episodes that take place before Vox Machina. And then the next series of episodes, they're animating the Briarwood arc. So if you watched any of the first campaign, Giddles, I don't know if you watched any of the first
I didn't watch
campaign.
any of the first.
All right,
no.
so Taliesin Jaffe's character, Percy, the Briarwood arc is sort of like his whole backstory. But it's one of the most iconic parts of the story.
All right,
and they're up to like 8 episodes, I think.
Well, let me ask this then. So the Kickstarter that this thing started, they were looking for $750,000.
Correct.
And what were they going to get for the $750,000 again? How many episodes? What were they putting out?
It was one 22-minute
episode
special.
Okay, so in the description there, so if you went to go contribute, they're guaranteeing one 22-minute episode at this price. All right. They let it go, and you said they're at 7.2, right?
Yep.
7.2 million. If they really wanted to be dickish about it, they could say, we've met our goal. We do appreciate the tips that everybody has left, but here is your 22-minute episode, and then pocketed the other, 6 point whatever million dollars.
No, I mean, the only reason they reached, I think, some of those goals is because they added on the other episodes. But if you honestly, if you've ever listened to any interviews with any of these people,
no, I'm sure they're nice people.
They're all genuinely nice people. They're almost sickeningly nice.
Yeah.
Like
suspiciously nice.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just the opposite of this show.
Right. But it's really refreshing to it's really refreshing that they kind of just blow out all sort of toxic behavior and have managed to create this really positive sort of community on the internet.
Did you say
we're like a crazy world too? I wouldn't be surprised to see Netflix or someone try and pick up the whole series or something like that. With how much
apparently they haven't admitted this, but they've hinted at it that they had at least 2 major companies that were interested in it.
Oh yeah, because you make that kind of money that fast that the networks, companies are like, cha-ching, what? Yeah. What are we missing out on?
The problem is that it was a lot of meddling fingers.
Yep, that's the thing.
It was a lot of, oh no, well, we want you to change this, or we want you to, and these are 8 or 9 people that have full creative control over these.
And $7.2 million to make the project happen the way in their vision. We don't
need you.
The
animation studio that they're using is a really well-known animation studio. It's Titmouse, which is the one that
Venture
does
Brothers.
Venture Brothers, and was it
Big Mouth?
The Netflix one, Big Mouth, and a couple of other things. Yeah, I mean, so they're using a really well-known, respectable company. They're all great writers. They're all going to be voicing their characters. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see how much they actually earn when it's all said and done.
It's weird. You never know when it comes to Kickstarter or Twitch or all these things. You never know what in your life might just seem like mundane and boring to other people that you put it out there and then it just pops.
Well, they do these live events and they sell out theaters.
All the time.
Big theaters.
Wow.
And the tickets are like $300 a ticket and they sell them out in minutes. They don't even have a problem filling the seats ever.
That's like going to see a Broadway play.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, but for $300 you get
Punch and Pie?
No, but you get like $100 voucher to Wormwood. You get
you get like a doggy bag type.
Yeah, you get like a bunch of stuff for it. But yes, Trevor, you have a question.
So all we need to do is rent out a VFW, right? And we can bring our cameras and mics, and people will pay money to come see us.
No.
I mean, if we had all of the charm
and punch
of
and
the
pie
cast and crew of Critical Role, perhaps, but I don't think we have any of that charm.
But we have punch and pie.
I mean, that's something we can offer.
We can offer a bunch of and beer, perhaps.
Yeah.
Mead.
Yeah.
Matt is
So
one is one to dabble in the mead.
I am. I'm going to Gen Con in August.
What is Gen Con?
Gen Con is a gaming convention. It's all tabletop gaming, but it's board games and tabletop games and stuff like that. I don't think that I'm going to go to the Critical Role live event there because it is a little too expensive, but I think I'm going to go to the live Talks Machina, which is like their little sort of weekly talk show that they host after each episode.
Where is this convention being held?
Indianapolis.
At a convention center or at a store?
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the convention center, but I mean, this is a convention
that's big enough to fill a convention center.
It's been going on for like 20 years. I mean,
wow.
It's a pretty well-known convention in that world.
So what do you do then? You go and see one of those live talk things, but then what do you do at this convention? You just walk the floor?
It's like any other convention, except instead of comic books, instead of comic books, it's games. But there are still artists there, and you can like play test stuff, and there are demos. Wizards of the Coast is there. The company that makes games like Call of Cthulhu will be there.
If you haven't been to a gaming store recently, Eric, there's a lot of freaking board games.
No, I have. And you don't even have to go to a gaming store. You can go to any kind of trendy store like Hot Topic.
Go to Target.
Yeah, Hot Topic has tons of games that when you look at all of them, you go, I can't imagine all of these being any good.
Yeah, but there are a lot of them are really good. But games like Cards Against Humanity had an impact at Gen Con a couple years back.
I see a lot of knockoffs of that game now.
Yeah, games like Settlers of Catan and all that's but that's all it is. It's all tabletop gaming. And
Settlers of Catan is getting big now because I'm seeing like the knockoff versions of it. Like I saw a Star Trek Catan and stuff like that. Like they're in like that Risk world where there's like Game of Thrones Risk and Magic Risk and blah blah blah. Like they're just going to keep doing that now.
Oh, Magic is really big at Gen Con. Like of those things go on there. So I'm going for potentially 3 or 4 days. I think it's going to be a lot of fun though.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Give me some Magic cards.
Just let me know what you want. I'll get you anything I can get my hands on.
Just open your bag and just swipe them all off the table into the bag, and he'll sort it out later.
And it's wicked cheap too. Like $80 was a 4-day pass.
Oh, that's because you're going to Indianapolis.
Yeah, but I hear it's a lot of fun. I hear it's a really good convention. Last year, Matt Mercer showed up and dressed up as Pumat Sol from his new campaign and opened up a merchandise store. It's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. So that's part of my world now.
So
it's always been part of my world, but I'm re-embracing that part of my world.
Matt's been busy.
Yeah.
Matt's had some things going on. Trevor, how have you been? Trevor started a new job. We haven't talked to you in a couple of weeks. How's that going?
I'm exhausted. I have completely switched from morning show radio to now evening radio, and it is completely messed up my sleep schedule. Instead of sleeping 2 4-hour segments a day, I now sleep 8 hours straight, and I have to learn things. Apparently, there's these things called Republicans and Democrats I just learned about.
Yep, because you're working in political and talk radio now.
Yeah, it's supposed to be what we're calling infotainment. We're supposed to give you information while entertaining you. Don't roll your eyes at me, Eric. This is how I make a living.
Roll your eyes like the bread?
Now he's just being
some rye toast.
No, he was doing an impression, and that's racist, and we will not tolerate that.
Wow.
Anyway, let me ask you this: Do you have the panic sleep now that your time schedule? Like, do you wake up at a certain point and feel like, oh my god, I'm late for work because you used to do mornings?
On Monday, I woke up at 10 a.m.
Yeah,
and I didn't know what day it was or where I was, and I thought it was like a normal Monday morning show radio. I missed the whole show.
Yeah,
I don't want to look at my phone. And then I realized, that's not my life anymore.
Yep. I know that very well. I've told the story many times of when Giddles and I used to live together in Brooklyn. And there's certain times of the day in certain parts of the year where like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning is the same as 5 at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. It's just the way that the light is outside. And I'd come home from doing the morning show and I'd take a nap. And one time I woke up and I saw the clock said 5:45 and I screamed and I ran out of my bedroom across the apartment into the bathroom to try to get ready. And as I got into the bathroom, I realized I ran past Giddles and a friend of his and they were watching The Simpsons. And I ran in there and I'm getting ready. I'm like, oh, it's like, oh, what? Why is Giddle watching The Simpsons? I guess I don't know. I'm just going to this and I'm slowly deconstructing everything, and I stop panicking for a second, and I lean out the bathroom door and I walk into the living room where they are, and they're just like snickering, and I go, what time is it? And Brian tells me it's at night, and they're just laughing their ass off because I ran in full panic, screaming across, thinking that I was late for work.
And it was like on fire or something.
Yeah, it was going to be 6 p.m. at night.
I'm just picturing this like the
It was.
Those friends go.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like,
what just happened? He does that all the time.
I sprung board off my bed in a panic, like, oh my God, jumped off and just hit the floor, ran all the way across the apartment to get to the bathroom to try to get ready.
No, what happened was you asked what time it was, and I said 5:45, and then you said AM or PM, and I said, what do you think?
Because I was
like, why would I be up this early, Eric?
There would be times where, because Brian worked a whole different schedule, there'd be times where Brian would be up real late at night playing Counter-Strike or watching movies or doing whatever. And sometimes he'd be up like going to bed as I was getting up to go to work. And I ran past him and he's sitting there watching TV. So that really didn't, like when that was sitting in my head, that didn't really clue me into the fact that it was like, why is Giddle still up? It was the fact that, and I didn't even know the fact that he had a friend sitting there with him. And I don't even remember who it was, but that didn't even sink in my head too as being an issue. It was, wait, The Simpsons aren't on at this time. And that's when I came out of the bathroom.
It's always The Simpsons with you, Eric.
It is. It always comes back to The Simpsons. And I was going to go back to Trevor, but he seems to have crawled away, so I don't know where he went.
He's not sure what time it is.
He's got a little Homer Simpson plush. Yeah, he just had to go check his watch.
He's like, wait, are we supposed to be on the air?
Yeah. This was supposed to be 7:30 a.m.
He's calling work to apologize, saying he didn't realize the time, and they're going to be, you're not on right now. What are you talking about? I really need to reconsider this hire now. I've lost all confidence in Trevor.
Not only that, his poster looks like it says Pearl Yam.
Ooh, is that some sort of thanks? Is that like a thanks?
What, Pearl Yam?
Who doesn't love the Pearl Yams?
Yeah, you put it on the white toast, and you put the turkey on it, and you make your turkey sandwich with Pearl Yam.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Actually, it does sound pretty good. I should make it.
I was going to say, I want Pearl Yam now.
Pearl Yam.
Pearl Yams. You got to pluralize it.
They're little round yams.
I was just going to say the little round yams.
Yeah, perfectly smooth.
This is ridiculous. We're trying to figure out. We're focusing on Trevor and his new job and everything, and he kind of walked away like he didn't know what he was doing.
I fully expect him to come back with like no shirt on, like in
toothbrush in his mouth.
I'll probably maybe he just came back literally on fire. And he's like, guys, my house is on fire.
Like with a churro hanging out of his mouth,
like a cigar. A cigar churro.
All of a sudden, let's see if his Twitch channel turns on. He's playing video games. He forgot he was doing the show.
It's like, oh shit.
Is that a vinaigrette you're shaking there, Giddles? What is happening?
You know what this is? Well, yesterday I was trying to invent a new pizza yesterday, which sounds pretty ambitious, but I'm trying.
Right.
And I didn't have a rolling pin, and I forgot at a friend's house. So the only thing I had was this bottle of pistachio liqueur my friend brought me from Rome. It was like the right size, so I rolled it in plastic wrap and I used it as a
rolling pin.
Yeah, and it worked because it's a really strong, like thin bottle. It's not like a big bottle, so I could put pressure on it and it got the job done. I mean, it wasn't a rolling pin, but
this is the stuff you need to be putting on the television on your channel there.
Oh yeah, this showing is gonna be like the hacks. Like, I mean, I would have used this beer, but I drank it. Like,
yeah, but that's the best part because while you're doing all of this stuff, all of a sudden then you're like, oh crap, I don't have a spatula. All right, what do I have? All right, I'm going to take, I have some duct tape, a fork, and a plastic plate. And that's what we're going to do.
Flip-flop. I have a question that I think we just skipped over there for a second.
Yeah, the fact that you just wandered off
out of the room
while we were talking to you about your career and what was going on.
Hey, Trevor, how's it going? My job's great. Gotta go.
I had to go throw up. Excuse me.
Are you
Why
sick?
did you have to go throw up?
Did the conversation about work just make you nauseous?
I felt nauseous all of a sudden, and I had to go throw up.
Because that's how he keeps his slender figure, guys. Don't make fun of him.
I think Trevor. I think we're overlooking the obvious here. I think we're over.
He had the pearl yam.
And the sad part is he made the pearl yams.
It says pearl yam.
He poisoned himself.
It does say pearl yam, doesn't it?
It does say pearl yam, dude. That's Eddie Cheddar over there.
Singing, hankering for a hunk of cheese. I think we're
on that note.
What do you want with your sandwich? Oh, Five Alive.
I think we're missing the obvious. I think Trevor is throwing up because he might be pregnant.
Oh.
Yeah. If you pee on the stick and it turns blue, does that mean I'm pregnant?
I think it means it's a boy.
I think it means you have kidney failure.
Well, either way, you're going to the hospital.
So what happened with your new job now? Tell us about it.
So I'll get back to my question for Gills. But getting back to my job, no, it's really interesting. I love the new company is awesome. Great. Love it there so far.
Good.
But it's really interesting dealing with news topics and callers and doing long form talk show.
Right.
I used to be really happy, like if there was ever anything wrong, but like, oh, just play an extra record, play an extra song, and I had that like little shield to hide behind. Now we're just straight up besides commercials going for the gold for 3 hours straight.
Right.
And it's dealing with new personalities and learning new equipment. So it's still very stressful. The first 2 weeks, like I'm going for 9 hours straight a day, like nonstop trying to get the show prepared. And by the time I get home, I'm exhausted and I wake up and I just do it all over again.
Yep.
Wait, so you go 3 hours straight, no commercial breaks?
No, we have commercials, but they're 5 minutes long each. So like we have 20, 25 minutes talk breaks.
Yeah, but what he's talking about is 3 hours of talking. You have the commercial breaks, but you're not like being interrupted for music or for other things.
Yeah.
You have to figure out how to fill 3 hours.
I have no records to hide behind. Like usually it's like, oh, we're gonna play 2 songs. Oh wait, someone's still in the bathroom or someone's not ready. All right, just play an extra song. No problem.
Nope.
Now if someone's in the bathroom, hi, you're listening to this station and I'm not supposed to be. Okay, they're back. Like,
but now what Trevor has is like, they come back from break and he's like, oh, my stomach's really killing me. Trevor, talk about Planned Parenthood and abortion. I gotta go pee. I'll be right back. And then Trevor's like, what? I don't know how to describe this.
And he just starts puking. They're like, that's exactly what we feel about it too.
We need to cut funding. I agree with Trevor. We need to cut funding. Well, I didn't say any of that.
yeah.
All right. Well, it's a learning experience to do more serious talk radio without any kind of
serious
filler.
talk radio. I'm doing a lot of politics. Isn't that serious?
Yeah, that's why I said it takes a while to learn how to do serious talk radio, which is what you're doing.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
You're so quick to be defensive. Well, nobody's attacking you here other than your dumb pearl yams.
Why so
I have a lot of battered wife syndrome from the show. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean,
from the show you're on now, then you made the wrong career choice.
We did.
Yes, the one that I'm currently recording with you.
I thought you meant the AM show. I was like, wow, they're really
started mocking him when he disappeared for 3 seconds. So
well, he brought it upon himself.
They're not like, oh, I hope he's okay. It's like, where the fuck does this motherfucker think he's going?
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's a bad habit that he's learning from that other radio show that he works on now, because they do that to him. They come back from a break and they got to run off to the bathroom or get something to eat, and they put their headphones down and turn away from the mic and slink away like he just did, and then he's stuck filling time, and he just did it to us because he's learning bad habits.
I didn't slink away. I actually ran pretty quickly for a man of my stature.
No,
you did hustle.
You had some pep in your step.
Which is really not a good time for me to feel this nauseous, because I brought gifts for Erik via the internet.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm going to eat them. You're probably not going to have a chance.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. All right, tried those already.
Flaming hot dill pickle remix. Holy shnikes!
I tried those already. Those are really good.
I don't know. Literally, I haven't opened them yet. Now I'm feeling nauseous again just looking at it. Yeah, hold on here. Wouldn't that be great if that worked? Here, wait. It's Brady Bunch style. Ready? Catch.
Okay, yeah. Oh, turn the candles.
Great visual for the radio.
That's awesome.
How'd you do that?
That's one of the coolest things ever.
Now, Brian, throw a note over there that says, "Please stop throwing your garbage into our universe."
Yeah, no, it's okay.
All right, so what Trevor's been holding up to show us here is Lay's has 3 new chips out that are not part of their Do Us a Flavor campaign where you can vote on this. This is another different kind of campaign that they're doing with 3 flavors. The first one he showed us was the Flaming Hot Dill Pickle Remix. The second one that he has here for us, you want to say what that one is?
This is the kettle cooked beer and cheese.
Right.
Classic beer and cheese. I'm sorry, the light hit it weird. And
that doesn't sound good.
It's not.
Yeah, it sounds okay.
It's not. It's really.
All right. First
horrible.
of all, anything that involves beer, I'm going to give it a shot. And the other one was just like a lime and sea salt, which didn't really.
That sounds great.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, but it didn't make me go wow. Like this remix with the dill and the pickles and the flaming and the hot. I'm all in.
That's wow.
The remix addiction. That's all I know.
Popping
that
fresh
song.
out the. We can't do R. Kelly anymore.
We can.
Oh my God! Speaking of R. Kelly, I'm gonna derail you for just.
All right, wait 1 second. We'll go to your R. Kelly thing to finish up with the potato chips. You're gonna try those out and tell us how they are. I did a review for The Consumer, so you can find it on The Consumer on Instagram or on our Facebook. It's Erik Nagel. I reviewed all 3 of them. You probably are. I'm curious to see which one you think is the best one, because you're probably gonna like the ones that I don't. So. Let me know how that is.
Because you like terrible things.
No, the Flaming Hot Pickle Remix is amazing. The other ones are garbage. And I'll even tell you, the lime one that you didn't buy, the lime and sea salt one on the wavy chips, it tastes like somebody opened up green flavor ice and dumped it into a bag of potato chips.
Oh, yeah, that sounds so good.
You smell it. It smells like that artificial lime, like a flavor ice, or the what do they call hugs, or those little grenade drink things with the tinfoil.
Yeah.
Right? It smells.
I get those salt and lime plantain chips, and those are really good.
But those are different. I know
which Spanish companies. Those are probably different.
But they don't taste candy and artificial like these chips did. It tastes like you dumped the flavor ice into the bag and then just kept eating the potato chips.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, just a little thing there for you.
And before R. Kelly, can we also just rewind and ask why Giddles was taking his rolling pin to his friend's house? Like, does he just take rolling pins and goes from place to place?
Because his friend also cooks.
That either?
I'm a traveling cook. Shit happens.
He carries it in a violin case.
That's what I'm wondering. Is it like in his utility belt? Like,
yeah, I'm like El Mariachi. Like I have the piano, like the guitar case opens up and like, oh, it's a guitar, and then it opens up and there's no gun. It's just a roller, and I hit him over the head, and then they shoot me in the face.
He takes it to the restaurant the day before. He tapes it up behind the toilet, and then Michael grabs it when he goes to the bathroom.
Exactly.
Interesting.
R. Kelly, Matt OG, the floor goes to you.
I just want to say that I saw on Twitter today, because Facebook and Instagram have been sort of down most of the day.
Yeah.
So everybody was reverting back to Twitter.
Real quick, did you know, because everybody experienced the Facebook going down and Instagram going down, did you realize WhatsApp is part of Facebook?
Oh, I did not.
I didn't that either, because I was seeing Twitter trends when I'm reading the articles about it, and they listed their properties. I had no idea that they owned WhatsApp too. And if you don't know what the WhatsApp is, it's an app for your phone that you can text people long distance without getting the charges and what have you.
I use it to communicate with my friends that live
overseas,
abroad.
right?
Yeah. So anyway, on Twitter today, I saw people referring to R. Kelly supporters.
Oh, I saw this too. But I'm not going to say.
As the Beehive.
Yes. I thought that was the funniest fucking thing. I saw that earlier. I was like, oh my God, the Beehive. I almost died.
I mean, I legit, I was crying.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. That's such a brilliant name.
I'm bringing this up at work tomorrow.
Who's Queen P? Trevor? There's an opening.
Why would I be the one that gets peed on out of all 4 of us?
Because you're fancy.
Yes. So the Beehive could be my new favorite thing ever.
You should just hashtag all your stuff that when you put out Twitch and just hashtag Beehive.
Hashtag Beehive.
Yeah.
Throw it in there.
Just see what happens. I'll get a lot of really strange people in my room.
Why not? You're all
DnD just got real crunk on my
Yeah.
no pun, but all comers.
Yeah. That's it.
Eric.
I know.
Anyway.
I'm not as good as that. I understand.
Yeah, it crashed the whole show to a halt.
I'm going to sit here and reflect on what I did. Okay, I'm done. Moving on. Before we take a break and get into TV and movie stuff, real quick, that college scam that's going on right now. I didn't want to bring it up until today, the day that we're recording, when I saw footage of Lori Loughlin being handed over by local police to FBI agents. And then
Aunt Becky, no.
And she was brought to the federal court. I think it's I forgot where in California. They brought her out there for pretty much what it was almost sentencing without a trial. So
she's been working on this apparently for a while.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't understand about this whole thing, though. Actually, there's a couple things. First of all, this is nothing new.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? This has been going on for years. I mean, it just used to be daddy would donate enough to rename the library after him, and then you got admitted to the school. But this is not any sort of 2018, 2019 revelation. That's the first thing. And the second thing, which I've seen some people sort of bring up, but I haven't seen it addressed. It's great that, Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman and William H. Macy, whoever else got their kids into the school, right?
Well,
But
hang on real quick. They showed footage too of William H. Macy going through the metal detectors, like getting wanded, putting his stuff like you would do at TSA, right? To go into the court. And the charges against his wife for their kid, for school. And I'm just curious how he's skirting this. Like, he wasn't charged in this investigation.
Well, from what I
of it.
saw from the
So
court
far.
documents, it was written off on taxes as like $15,000 towards like a school fund type thing, where it wasn't. So like, I think there's tax fraud involved also.
Oh, so that's still to come. Okay.
Because my other question, and I'm not trying to be stupid, but like, let's say you did pay to get your kid into the school, right?
Right.
Did you also pay off all the teachers to keep them there? Or did the kids actually get to the school and then continue to do okay in the classes? I mean, not that makes a difference.
No.
But I'm curious how that worked.
I feel like, I'm sure once those kids got in, it was just like, well, you know who this person's kid is.
And so it's honestly, just give them a pass.
Because I feel like, especially at those schools where it's just like those schools, there's those like family schools, you know what I mean?
Right.
Those are like institution type things.
Yeah,
where,
Skull and Bones and shit.
Yeah,
legacies,
they just
they're
let that
called.
stuff slide. It's not like a SUNY Buffalo, where they're just gonna be like, no, get the fuck out.
I couldn't get into Malibu Community College. My parents had to pull a few strings.
Okay, Lebowski.
Yes. One of the things that is not helping is they found a video of one of Lori Loughlin's daughters.
Oh yeah, they like I don't want to go to school.
Yeah, right before she goes to attend USC for her freshman year, she put out a video. And by the way, I want to point out her social media account. She's got like 1 million something followers. She wanted to be a YouTuber or Instagram influencer, all that stuff. And you can tell that her parent, and especially the way she speaks too, she should be doing that. But you can tell her parents are like, nope, ain't having any of this shit. You're going to school. I didn't realize who her dad is. Do you know who the dad is who Lori Loughlin's married to?
I have no idea.
Is that Italian guy? But I don't
You know that
he's super rich.
You know that Mosimo clothing that used to be in Target?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's him. That's their dad.
okay.
So they've got a ton of money. And she doesn't want to go to college. She wants to do all this stuff. You know, the parents who are pretty well off respectively in their careers, they're saying, nope, we're not putting up with this shit. You're going to college, whether we force you into there. The kid seems to was doing everything not to go. Was not doing the schoolwork, was not doing anything other than the social media stuff, that they had to go with this route of paying off people to get them and say that they were on the rowing team at USC. And the only proof they could find that they had anything to do with rowing was a photo of them in the gym, the two girls, or the mom in the door, I couldn't really tell, where you just see their back as they're wearing sports bras and like workout pants, and they're flexing on the rowing machine so you can see the muscle definition in their arms and their back. like getting ready for rowing season. That's all they could find that of any association to even do with rowing. They had nothing to do on the school team. They had nothing to do with a lot of their classes. Their entrance stuff was all pre-prepared and paid and taken care of.
But I feel like the irony is that like these kids aren't good enough to go to these schools, but they were paid that like their entire life. Their parents probably paid for them to go to the top, highest private schools,
right?
Where they're supposed to get like these great educations and all this shit. And they're just not, because I feel like at the end of the day, they're like, I don't really need to learn this stuff because my parents are freaking rich.
Well, I was going to say, this seems like really stupid money spent, because most of these kids don't need to go to school. They're either going to live off their parents' fortunes, or they're going to be influencers, or they're going to be,
or let's just say not even going to college, right? Because you know,
they don't need to go to college.
We've all gone to college, and you know what it entails. It's not just doing your major or what you want to do. There's other classes you have to take for all these things. Even if you don't do college, if you just did some kind of trade school, like say if you just went to an art school because you're a good graphic artist or something for what you want to do, you went to a school that specializes in that, even that would have been okay. But they were forcing them into this old thinking of institutions like this, where if, like, I'm going to be you're dragging your kid, essentially kicking and screaming, to put them in a high level college that they don't want to be in, and you're throwing money at the problem to deal with this situation.
But I mean, in Lori Loughlin's case, right, her kid, her whole influencer thing was based on being a college student. So that's kind of right, because her whole thing was with that Amazon.
Amazon came and redid her whole entire dorm room. That was like one of the biggest things she made money off of. Yeah.
All of her promotional stuff was all about being a college student, and it was all geared and aimed towards college students. So, I mean, for her, I almost guess I get it.
But this is much more than just like, it's not the celebrities paying off the schools to get their kids in. They found this guy who knew how to cheat the system.
He was a fixer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was, but like, that's the thing. Like, so he went and he found like the one corrupt person in the athletic department that would be like, okay, so what does this school like do? Like, well, they have to take one water polo player a year, and they never give a shit who it is. They just have to be like someone who played water polo. So he'd be like, okay, so that's how we're going to put it on that application for this school, because they figured out all the algorithms. And he went and did all this extensive work behind the scenes to find out for each school where the weak points were. And that's what happened. There's one kid who got in for being a pole vaulter. The guy's never pole vaulted in his life. They was just photoshopped his head on an actual Olympic pole vaulter's body and got in.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they just taped his head onto the top of the pole vault, and they're like,
burns his face on the Muhammad Ali, like knocking out.
Oh yeah, he goes to school. Here's that really tall, skinny guy.
And they just released Lori Loughlin on a $1 million bail.
I don't know if she was released yet. Her bail was set. I'm not seeing anything about her being released yet, but I just saw this come in, which is interesting. So they're trying to find the daughter who goes to the USC, right? They found her at the time of her mom's sentencing.
Drunk in a dorm room.
No, she was celebrating spring break on a yacht owned by a USC Board of Trustees member.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Probably the guy who got her in.
Probably. The daughter's name is Olivia Jade, was on Rick Caruso's yacht in the Bahamas when federal prosecutors announced her mother would be charged with paying bribes to get her daughter accepted into USC. Olivia Jade and Caruso's daughter, Gianna, are friends and appear in a social media post together, according to page 6 of the New York Post. Lori Loughlin, who's the star of, paid $500,000 with her husband, Mosimo, Italian word, to get their two daughters into the University of Southern California by pretending the girls were crew athletes. And Jade returned to the U.S. After hearing of her mother was charged.
But it's just like, at the end of the day, I don't think a lot of people are really shocked by this. I think most people assume in this country that if you have money, you can like get ahead and like do stuff. But the thing is, I think this just shows like if people can do this on such a small level to get someone into college, then yeah, they could probably bribe people to get you out of jail and get lighter sentences and bribe Congress members and bribe lobbyists. And I think it's exposing more of those rifts that people have been complaining about in government, about how basically if you have money, you can do whatever you want in this country. And I think it's exposing that a lot more, because look at all of these kids who spend money on like SAT tests and prep and stuff like that, who are really working their asses off to get into Harvard or Yale.
Right.
And then, some kid just gets gifted in there because their dad, is somebody.
Well, I mean, it's not, well, that, hold on,
this is a bad reference.
That's a little different. Which I researched that that it has to be separated, but some of these kids that were getting in weren't just because of who their parents were. It was also that their parents were paying to have people take the SATs for them.
Oh, yeah.
Or while they were taking the SATs, they had people that were there present while they're taking the test and correcting the mistakes that they made in the test. That's what these people were paying for. The difference is, from what I was seeing on the news and reading up a little bit, the legacy stuff for school will help you get into a school, because that means, whether it's legal or not, it's been legal since the beginning of professional universities, apparently, that if you get family members who can qualify or who maybe need a little extra to get into the school, means it's going to be a steady cash flow coming into the college from a family of alumni. So that's why they get in there, and especially the higher level schools like Harvard, Yale, and anything like that, any other Ivy League schools, depend on the money of families' legacies constantly coming to that university. So that seems, there's wording and documentation for it. So if you make a sizable donation and they name the library after you, or if you supplied something that made a medical wing for school testing and things like that, that is apparently legal donation, and then you can receive favors for that, whether it's ethical or not. But it doesn't seem to be illegal if you do it that way. Doing it this way, by having an outside person that's not involved with the school to swindle the school, that's where the problem is. Well,
yeah, I get that too, but I think they're both kind of fucked up, if you ask me. Like, just being like, okay, well, my family came here and here's all this, so my kid should get in a little easier. Like, I don't know.
I don't agree
with that when these people are going to become doctors and shit and have to perform surgery. If they're not that smart, I don't want them going and be like, oh, I'm a heart surgeon who graduated from Harvard. Yeah, because you went to Dr. Nick's, your backdoor medical school or some shit.
I really want to see the brochure, though, that this guy gave out. Like, okay, so we can get your daughter into this level school is this much.
It's really it was just a pop-up ad that would show up on some websites.
Put in your social security number, see what happens.
The Full House chick paid $500,000 for this girl to get into whatever college. She's a Trojan.
USC, yep.
Never used one in her life.
Hey-o.
We're letting that sit there. Breathe and continue.
And continue.
Oh, that's all I got. Let's go to segment 2.
Matt,
I was going to say, I hate to be a part people, but I actually have to bail.
Well, I was going to say, Matt, you need to really be hitting your stride with Second Generation Geek, because your son will be heading to college in no time, and you got to save up enough money to get him into some of these schools.
That is truth.
He's already been banned, right, from Twitch?
Yeah, almost. No,
so he'll get into any college he wants.
I pulled the plug before he got banned.
All right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk TV, movies, video games, and what have you, and we'll be right back.
It's Erik Nagel. More, it's Erik Nagel. Next. It's Erik Nagel. Follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, and Facebook at It's Erik Nagel.
Hey, this is Ian Ziering, and you're listening to Erik Nagel. It's Erik. I'm Ian Ziering, and you're listening to It's Erik Nagel.
Welcome back to It's Erik Nagel. That is me. It is Giddles. It is Trevor. Matt OG had to go take care of some things, but he may pop back in some point.
Murdered him on break.
Oh, no. Looking at last week's box office, to nobody's surprise, Captain Marvel coming in at number 1, making $11 billion.
$11 billion?
$11 billion. Number 2, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, which I guess is the third and final one.
Yep.
Right? Okay. Number 3, Tyler Perry's A Medina Family Funeral.
Medea!
Whatever. comes in at number 3. Number 4, the Lego Movie 2, the second part. And number 5, Alita Battle Angel. I still need to go see that movie. I want to go see that.
I don't know anything about it.
It's a Japanese anime story that apparently they made into a movie.
That's all I know about it.
Yep, that's all I know about it too. But she's just this girl with really big eyes.
I have a question.
Momo?
No.
So I saw a trailer recently, and I know we talk about how trailers give away the whole movie.
Right.
But have you seen the trailer for Pet Sematary?
Yes.
It gives away the entire movie. Like every single plot twist and surprise is in the trailer from the original story. Like I saw the 2.5 minute trailer. I was like, I don't need to see this now. I just saw every single pit. Like it's crazy.
This is like A Star Is Born, right? Like this is like the 3rd or 4th time they've done Pet Sematary.
No, this is the second time.
Second.
This is the second time. They had Pet Sematary and Pet Sematary 2. This
Yeah.
is a reboot of Pet Sematary.
Oh.
And you
But dude, watch the trailer. Seriously, you will see the entire movie in it. It's crazy. But the movie can't be good if they're showing that much stuff during the trailer.
That's what I was just going to say. I watched the trailer, and you're longing for Edward Furlong.
Yeah.
In this, because this movie looks really bad. No, you shouldn't do this. No, I really don't think you should do it. Then you go and you do it, and then this happens. And Giddles is right. You're seeing the entire movie. If you never saw the original one from the night, it was right after Terminator 2, right?
Was it Terminator 2? I thought it was like 89 or something.
No, because everybody realized who he was in Terminator 2, and I think he got Pet Sematary after that.
No, Pet Sematary was 1989.
Really? He was in it before Terminator?
Yeah, I just Googled it.
Wow. Yeah. I thought it was the other way around. Okay.
Yeah, no, that was definitely 1989 because I remember the case and seeing it in the video store all the time.
Huh. Well, yeah, it does give it gives a lot away. So if you have no interest in it and you want the hybrid version of the movie, watch the trailer and then you can tell all your friends, "Hey, I saw the movie. I saw it ahead of time because you saw and know everything that's going on with that." Speaking of things that are opening up this weekend, I don't think there's really anything that anyone cares about. If you have a family, if you're a family,
Eddie Furlong was in Pet Sematary 2. Sorry.
Okay. He wasn't in the first one.
Yeah, he was in the second one.
I knew it was after Terminator, so okay, I'm sort of right. For you, if you have kids, there's another animated movie coming out called Wonder Park, which seems to be getting a lot of good reviews, so you should check that out. Then there's a movie called 5 Feet Apart, which just looks like some kind of dumb romantic story. It's not a rom-com, but it's like some romantic nonsense about a guy and a girl, and they drift apart and they get back together, and
every story.
And then it's like, we can't hug each other. Oh no, I know what it is. The girl has some sort of disease and she can't touch people. And they do everything 5 feet apart because that's as close as he can get to her. I remember seeing this trailer. No, it's not Bubble Boy.
I saw the poster for it and I was like, that just looks sappy and stupid.
Yeah. But then there's this other movie called Captive State, which stars John Goodman. But that's all I really know about it. It's a sci-fi movie.
Oh, wait. You know what? I saw the trailer for that, and it it almost looked like it was in the Cloverfield universe. Like, he looked like he was playing that same character that he was playing in like, Cloverfield Lane in a way.
Oh, where he's in the creepy guy in the bunker?
Yeah, because that's like, he's like holding people like captive in this thing, and he's like, you can't leave. Like, you can't go outside. And it's just, I don't know. They didn't really explain much, but it takes place after aliens invade Chicago. Okay.
I'm always up for that. I don't know if I'm going to go to the theater to see that.
I might go to theaters. I mean, like, I would see that in theaters. That's this weekend?
That's opening this weekend.
Okay. Yeah, but like that's what it feels like. It's in that Cloverfield thing. So that was Aliens with John Goodman and this Alien John.
Right. Are you still using your Movie Pass? Is that still working?
It still shows up, but the thing is, there's nothing I want to see on it because I only get one choice of a movie a day. And stupid me missed Alita Battle Angel the one day it came up, so I couldn't see that. And now every day I have a choice of How to Train Your Dragon 3 or some movie called Climax, which I don't even know what it is.
So they've drastically scaled back on what you're allowed to see.
Yeah, like if I open it up right now, I don't even know if I could see anything.
So it's not worth doing anymore.
No, I mean, I only have it because
you had an ongoing subscription. Yeah,
I had the 1 year ongoing subscription, so I just never canceled it.
I'll tell you this: I really found.
I could see a Medea family funeral.
Okay, and that's the only
Should I go
movie
see
you
it for
can go
research?
see? No. Don't waste your
and
time.
then Nighthawk, I could see Climax. I could actually go see that tonight at 10 o'clock if I really want to.
There you go. Go do that
I don't
if
even know what it is.
you feel the need to do so. I
looks
will
like-
say
looks like
I
it's
found the
60 time.
benefit to AMC's rewards program that they have that was trying to compete with MoviePass.
Yeah.
So they
I
had
could
this.
see Fighting with My Family tonight on MoviePass.
That I actually do want to go see. So AMC always had this kind of rewards thing called stubs, right?
Yes.
So when you'd buy tickets or you buy concession or other things, you would get points, and you hit a certain threshold of points, and you can get free stuff at the concession stand, free movie tickets, things of that nature. Then they started this more elite program. One is called Reserve, and the other one is called A-List. And the A-List allows you to see 3 movies, any format, a week for free with your thing, right? So I didn't upgrade my plan to that, but I did the Reserve. And what it does, excuse me, is it gives you more perks, more points towards things if you buy tickets, especially if you buy them online, concession stuff and what have you. So this weekend, I thought I was going to have yet another movie tragedy story about going to the movie theater, and it turned out to actually be okay.
So a typical movie story.
For me, yes. So I thought it was heading in that direction. So I get to the movie theater, and I noticed that there's this huge line in front of the digital, the machines where you scan your phone, right? So everybody's standing there, and it's going so slow. Nobody's moving. It's taking forever. And this lady's only on 2 of 3 tickets. And I said, what the hell is going on here? Why isn't this working? And I try to get to another line, and then I go to scan the thing there, and it says, oh, this machine is in need of an upgrade. It can't do what I need it to do. And then another machine says, this machine's in need of an upgrade. You can't
You know what
do
it is?
this.
Because there's like too many of these services coming out now, and they can't upgrade the computers fast enough. Because that was the same thing that happened with MoviePass, where you'd go to check in on the computer screen, and then you'd still have to go up to the register, and they'd swipe your card again because the machines weren't caught up yet with like all the new programming.
Right. So all 4 machines that they had to scan your phone were not working. So I was like, God damn it. And I look over to the right, and the feeder, the line, the queue line for to buy your tickets from the teller there was packed. This is an early Saturday afternoon, and it was nice out. It was like almost 50 degrees. So everybody had their kids at the movies. And I was like, oh, I can't sit there and wait. And it's about 15 minutes before the movie starts. And I should have already been done and sitting and relaxing and what have you. So I was like, what am I going to do? And then I see that sign, and it says for the AMC Reserve and A-List. And there's a gold rope. And I went, oh. So I go through the gold line, and I'm the first online. So there's only one teller open on a Saturday afternoon. One. And there's booths for about 8 different tellers, and there's one person open. And she's helping somebody.
How many pens?
No pens, 0 pens.
Oh,
everybody
tellers?
broke them off the chain and took them home. Free pen.
Oh.
So she finishes with this one guy and his kids. Then he walks away, and then she said, oh, Reserve, next. So now I just cut the entire line of people that are waiting there with their kids.
Of course you did, Eric.
Well, because I had the card. It has its privileges. So I walked.
That's what it does.
And I said, I hate to do this.
Privileges.
Yes, I said, I hate to do this, but unfortunately the machines are down. I can't scan my phone with the code to get my tickets. I just need them printed, please. So she goes, okay. She takes my phone, scans the thing. My tickets print up, hands it to me. I walk away. No fuss, no muss. I got out of there so people wouldn't be mad. I go inside, and there's the concession. Now, concession is crazy too. It's got the big, the snake line for everybody waiting to get to the concession. But then I see off to the right is the gold rope, and I said, "Oh, look at this!" So now while you have everybody zigzagging like you would wait for a ride, there's the gold ropes that go and make a perfect right angle around the side of all of that, and I get right to the front of the line, and there's one person at who's buying stuff at this particular part of the concession stand. Over to the right, I see 2 cashiers helping out the other people. There's a person who is just there for the reserved and the A-list line. So that guy finishes. He's like, hello. He's like, next. And I'm waving to the guy next to me. He goes, no. If you're on the line, it's for here. I said, oh. I go right up there. And I said, I would just like to get a large soda. Do you want the popcorn with it? No, I just want the large soda. And well, we have this combo thing here. And I was like, no, I'll just do.
Sorry, get the combo.
It's not the large soda. I was saying this wrong. It was just I wanted a medium soda. And they said, well, you get the large combo with the reserve thing. I was like, I don't really want to. They said, oh, it's not that much for an upgrade. I said, okay, fine, whatever. Talked me into it. I'm not going to really eat the popcorn anyway, so I just wanted the large soda cup. They swipe my card through, and he looks at it, and it makes a weird beep noise. And he goes, oh, you're good. I said, what do you mean? And I'm handling my ATM card. And he goes, my debit card. He said, nope, all good. I went, okay, took it, and I walked away. I'm like, I didn't even pay for this.
Yeah, they were just like, here, take it.
Yeah, so I now bypass everybody waiting for the concession line in the front, not even around the line. I cut right in front of all of them to go over to the Freestyle Coke machines and make my soda. I make my soda, and I go back to now I'm heading back over to the theater. I check in. I sit down. So I was 15 minutes before the movie started. I got in there. There was still another 5 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
And I sat right down. I was like, I was so happy. I was so content. And I already had my predetermined seat that I picked online. I was like, this
sounds nice.
This was a great movie going experience. I had a lot of fun.
See, when it all works out and everyone treats you like a king, it's great.
So I get into the movie theater. I have 5 minutes. I made it. It's great. Now I'm there. I'm ready to see Captain Marvel. I don't think any of you have seen the movie, correct?
I have not.
I know Giddles doesn't do the superhero movies. Trevor, you have any intent in going to see Captain Marvel?
I do. I want to rewatch Infinity War though one more time before I go.
You could. It has nothing to do with it, but it's all right. You can do that if you like.
Oh, okay. I thought someone told me there's something I missed in there, but okay.
No, she has nothing to do with Infinity War.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, I'm pretty much caught up. I still haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, but besides that, I've watched
that does have something to do with Endgame coming up. You should definitely watch that. It's free on Netflix. You can go and check that out before you see Endgame. But go see Captain Marvel. Tell me what you think. The reviews have been weird. There's been a lot of stuff circulating around this that... between 4chan and other places saying that Disney was renting out theaters and buying all the tickets just to increase their ticket sales. And
4chan's a troll farm. Like,
no, I know.
Don't listen to them.
I'm not. I'm just saying, but I've seen some news organizations that were speculating on this. I'm like, why are they believing this?
Because they need anything to make a lead.
Well, then they were tying it into the fact that she made appearances at certain theaters where she was, where Brie Larson was in her, jumpsuit,
Captain Marvel
jumpsuit, and she was greeting people as they were coming in. She was working the concession. She walked in before the movie started and thanked everybody for coming. And she did it at a few theaters. And like, see, this is what happened. Disney paid for these theaters, and they're paying for their own tickets. And I was like, they really just want to find any way possible to destroy something. It's just sad. But anyway, that tied in with the Rotten Tomatoes issue from last week that we discussed, where they were disabling comments, reviews for a movie that you haven't seen yet because it hasn't come out to the public. They got rid of that. And they said, look, they removed 90,000 reviews and the audience approval only went up 6 points. And it's like, you still hadn't seen the movie. What does it matter what the score is at that point until you see the damn movie?
It's just like, who cares about the scores? Just go. If you like the movie, like, I don't understand this whole thing where like people care about these scores. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't get it.
Apparently,
Rotten Tomatoes said it's bad, so like that's not going to change people's minds who want to go see it. Like, they're still going to go see it.
Apparently, it means a lot to the movie industry because people are swearing by these numbers as if they are, legitimately the end all be all as far as
but it's
movie
based
success.
on like critics and stuff like that. So you have to find critics who like the same kind of stuff you do, and then follow those people. Don't just follow like what every schmo on the fucking website's saying. Right.
Because currently, at the time that we're doing this, the numbers on Rotten Tomatoes for Captain Marvel are the critics have it's certified fresh at 79%. And the audience score is now 63% from the 30s where it was last week.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. Here's the thing with the movie. A lot of people were saying, at worst, people were saying horrific things. At best, in some cases, they were saying how great the movie is. The average of what people have been expressing about this is that the movie's kind of meh. You know, that it's an okay movie, but it wasn't that entertaining, or it fell flat, or for whatever reason. My theory on it is this. When you watch any of these other movies, you get the origin story. Something happens to the person, they develop powers, they develop abilities, and then they're trying to figure out how to manage the abilities. And while other stuff's starting to go on around them, and how are they going to deal with these abilities? And then, you know, a bad guy around them, and then the world falling apart. Like it's their coming of age kind of story of how they're going to become this person, become this identity. With Captain Marvel, shit's already going on, and it's a slight spoiler, but it's not really ruining anything. She doesn't know what's going on. For most of the movie, she's standing there and listening to people tell her things, and she's having these flashbacks, and she can't decipher everything, and she's trying to go based on all the information that she's seeing in her head and from what people are telling her and what's happening in front of her. She's trying to figure out what's real, who she is, what's been going on, and then, you know, in the latter half of the movie, it starts to all come together and be revealed of all the stuff that made her who she is. So it's not your typical origin story where something happens here and then you follow the story all the way to the end.
They like Pulp Fictioned it and then, like, did the ending first and then like told you the reveal after.
Well, it's not even the ending. It's just stuff's going.
I know that. I'm just saying, like, yeah.
So it's sort of like that. It's a bit Memento, if you will, right? Where they're aware of a situation's coming and then constant flashbacks to tell the story getting up to this point. And about, put it in football terms, in the third quarter, she finally figures out what's going on here.
Well, that's pretty early.
Right? And then it's just a different way of telling the story. And I don't think people were grasping the fact that it wasn't completely drawn out from them. Here's point A, here's point B. You know, it's like everything's a little weird here. We figured it out here. Now we're going to go from this point on as to what's going on.
You got to mix things up. You keep doing the reason why I stopped watching these movies is because they're literally all point A to point B, and you know every single thing that's going to happen.
This was not a point A to point B movie. And this is also a brand new character that the mainstream audience doesn't know anything about, you know, until recent years where they were saying this character's coming. They cast Brie Larson as the lead. It's going to be their first female-driven vehicle for the Marvel Universe. There was a lot riding on this, a lot at stake, and I think people going in there expecting it just to be all drawn out for them. And when it wasn't, you had to figure some things out for yourself. Even the character, you're with the character. You're trying to figure out stuff as it goes.
Yeah.
And you both together figure it out at a certain point and go, okay, now this makes sense. We know what's going on. This is what's happening. Here's us going now. Here comes all the action and where they're going to go towards the future. It starts later in the movie instead of at the very beginning. And I think that's what people didn't really fully understand, why they were saying the movie was kind of it was lackluster.
I don't know. Most people I've seen on Twitter said they loved it. So
yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
You know what it is? I've seen a lot of people who loved Wonder Woman, especially from the female perspective too, that thought like Wonder Woman was one of the best movies just ever made from a woman's standpoint. It has now taken all that energy and switched it to Captain Marvel.
Well, Gal Gadot came out after the weekend. She posted something online giving a congratulations to Disney and to Marvel and Brie Larson for Captain Marvel and for doing so well, which was kind of cool to see.
And yet it won't win anything.
Yeah, the superhero movies rarely ever do. A couple other dates, and then we're going to move on to some other stuff here. As far as movie stuff goes, April 3rd is Shazam. April 11th is the Hellboy reboot, which the more of a trailer I see for that movie, the more stupider it looks.
The more stupider?
The more stupider it looks.
It doesn't look more gooder?
It doesn't look more gooder. It looks more stupider.
What's on the more dumber one?
I think the original Ron Perlman 2 movies that they put out were really good. This one here just looks too campy.
I don't know. I think maybe it's just the trailer.
Well, I've seen 2 different trailers at this point, and it didn't seem to improve much. Every time he tries to make a joke, because he's supposed to be, sort of a curmudgeon-y asshole, and when he tries to make the jokes, it seems too forced. Like, you see the joke coming, and then you're just like, oh, really? That's what he's saying? Again,
I don't know.
these are just the trailers.
I
We haven't
watched
seen the
too
movie.
many of the Hellboy movies, so
I don't know. We won't know until it comes out. For all we know, it might be good.
April 20th.
I think Ron Perlman really crushed it the first time.
He was great in those first two movies. They were supposed to make a third one, but then it kind of
Ron
died
Perlman
out.
is great in everything because Ron Perlman is great.
What happened to the third one?
I don't know. He was pushing so hard for the third one, and the studio just never did it. I don't know why that fell apart. We'd have to research it for another time. But the third one never got the push, and he's been pushing for it forever. And now they just thought he was too old for the role, and they rebooted the entire movie. Instead of just continuing on with a new guy as Hellboy and continuing the story, they just, we'll just reboot it. Which is so dumb.
They do it from Stranger Things.
Who? The sheriff?
The sheriff in Stranger Things is the new Hellboy.
Is he really? That's him?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't connect the two. But still, it still looks way too campy. I'm hoping it does well because I like the Hellboy, the books and the franchise, but I don't know. April 26th, Avengers Endgame. So you have till April 26th to watch Ant-Man and Wasp.
Jeez. Okay.
And Captain Marvel. It's over a month. You got time.
Dude, I am so busy. This past weekend was packed.
That's what Saturday is for.
I was at an air sex competition.
That's your problem.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we didn't talk about that.
I was there too. It was great.
We'll get to that in a moment. May 16th is John Wick 3.
Shit, that's the 16th? That's this weekend?
May 16th.
Oh, sorry. I'm just so excited for it. I heard, and then 16, I was like, oh shit, March? No, May.
I'm actually really kind of like, I love when a movie's good the first time, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, this movie made a lot more money than we thought. Let's make more of them and ruin it.
Like, I don't. John Wick movies kind of work in that universe. It's like it's very graphic.
I don't think that a lot of people didn't like the second one. I don't think it was that bad. Like I love the hotel scenes. The hotel stuff was really good.
The second one, I thought it was more of like what it was, but I didn't think it was terrible.
No, I love the hotel thing.
Terrible, no, but still,
I think it opened. I think like the ending was really great. It opened it up to like the huge world where like everyone's going to be haunting him. Or hunting him, rather.
If they're haunting him, I'm really going to watch the third one.
Boo.
Yeah. Everyone, ooh, you kills me, John Wick. And there's a million people behind him. They're all ghosts.
Two of them are Bill and Ted from Bogus Journey.
Evil robot.
May 22nd, the live-action Disney Aladdin. That second trailer come out, and everybody who thought the genie was going to look like shit seems to have changed their mind because people were more favorable for this new trailer that just popped out and liked actually where the movie's going with this.
Yeah, I think they get it now.
Yeah, May 31st is Godzilla King of Monsters. Very excited for that. June 5th, X-Men Dark Phoenix, which, by the way, that trailer, full-length trailer, was on in front of Captain Marvel. June 7th, Secret Life of Pets 2, for those of you with kids. June 14th, the third Men in Black International, or fourth one. I forgot which one it is.
It's
like the new crew or something like that.
Yeah, it's like Saved by the Bell, the new class. It's gonna be terrible.
Then there's
it's the fourth one. Actually.
June 21st is Child's Play reboot. June 22nd, I don't think anyone's excited for that. Jennifer Tilly was pretty vocal about how awful the movie looks and that she didn't want them to reboot it. But guess what? You had nothing to do with the ownership of that movie.
Yep.
You played the female one that they brought in the third movie just to push merchandise, and that was it. June 22nd, Toy Story 4. July 3rd, Spider-Man Far From Home. And July 17th, Disney's Lion King, the live action one. That trailer was also in front of Captain America. Looks really good. And I think that's Captain Marvel, correct. And I think that's about it for, blockbusters that make sense for us to promote on this show here. Over to Netflix. Ricky Gervais's new show is out there. I watched the whole thing over the weekend. It's really good. It's a bit depressing, but it's really good. It's called Afterlife.
Okay.
And it's about a guy that's dealing with the fact that he was dealing with his wife with cancer, and she had a long, slow process until she died. And she recorded all these videos that he was watching on his laptop. Like, she recorded for a long time when he wasn't around, all these videos, and he's watching it while, in postmortem there. And not postmortem, what's the term? Postmortem is
menopausal?
No, postmortem is like when you're dead.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of then. So he's watching these videos. starting to lash out at people and at life. There's a scene with a hammer where he threatens this little redhead kid on a playground. It's pretty fucking funny. You don't expect it to happen. It's kind of brutal, but it's really funny.
Okay.
So yeah, if you get a chance, go and watch it. I think it's 6 or 8 episodes. It's worth your time. It's really good. March 22nd, the Motley Crue movie, The Dirt, comes out on Netflix. And the 29th is The Highwaymen, which is that new take on Bonnie and Clyde with Woody Harrelson.
Cool.
Yeah, pretty good. Over on Amazon.
Oh, wait. You missed a big one.
What,
like the week right after that.
What, the David Tennant announced that he's not coming back for the final season of Jessica Jones on Marvel?
No, I'm talking about The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina's the first week of April.
Oh, is it really?
April 5th.
Oh, cool. I just finished that show a couple of weeks ago. It's really good.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Amazon Prime stuff. Neil Gaiman's Good Omen.
Okay.
Is available as of March 6th. So it's there for your viewing pleasure on Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime also on April 5th. The Tick Season 2 Part 2 with the last 6 episodes will be available. April 24th.
I have not seen them shooting that around here, so I wonder where they're shooting.
Maybe they shot it already and they just kept
looking for it. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it was all shot every time you walk through the set. It's like, damn it, he's in episode 1, 3, 4, 8, 9.
It's called The Tick because that guy's annoying.
We have to move the whole entire production. Damn,
everything can't be shot in Brooklyn because Giddles keeps walking through the sets.
Man.
April 24th on YouTube Premium, Cobra Kai Season 2. The trailer just dropped. It's pretty cool. It really makes Daniel look like an asshole. Really does. Because the gist of the trailer, he opens up a school under Miyagi's form of fighting. I forgot what it's called. But he opens the phone and the TV ads that are running for free. He's eating the cost of the school just to take away money from Cobra Kai that just opened up at the end of the first season. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, but it's been a year. He opens up a school just to mess with the guys from Cobra Kai so that they won't make any money and people will come train over there for free and he can keep everybody away from him. It really makes Daniel look like an asshole.
I gotta watch that someday.
I didn't see the first one yet still, so I'm still far behind.
You gotta watch that. It's really good. I gotta watch
The Karate Kid.
It costs money to get fucking YouTube Red, so I'm not paying.
You do the trial run. You get a 1-week trial run. You can go and binge it and then you just cancel.
Oh no, my thing fell.
Ghosts. The ghosts that are chasing John Wick are after you.
Yeah, as the ghosts of my light fell off the wall.
I'm thinking that's it for TV. And one other thing. My buddy Dave Landau, who I work with over at Compound Media, he co-hosts the show with Anthony Cumia. The movie that he shot and released and put it out there, you can buy it and what have you, is now available for free on Amazon Prime. It's called The King of Detroit. You should definitely give it a watch. It's a campy little movie about they make fun of juggalos, they make fun of all the kind of life that's going on in the streets of Detroit. It's a good movie. You should go out and see it because especially if you have Amazon Prime, it's for free. The King of Detroit. Go out and watch that if you can. And then send Dave some love and say, "Hey, I saw your movie. I enjoyed it thoroughly." Anything else before we get to the final story of the night, gentlemen? TV movie wise, did you see anything?
Can I just?
I have not.
Can I just say that doesn't take you earlier pointed out that it doesn't take long to watch a film?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay. So how was Little Giants?
I didn't watch it because you didn't properly set that thing up, and that was a dick move on your part. If you don't know what we're talking about, go back 2 episodes ago and listen to the end of the show to what Trevor did. I didn't know. I didn't really believe you because Giddles didn't believe you either if you really saw the movie.
But we talked about it after the show.
After the show didn't mean anything on the air. So according to radio logic, it didn't happen. So did you watch the movie? Did you watch National Lampoon's Vacation?
Yes.
You did?
I did.
Okay. What is...
if you're going to ask me how many buttons was on Clark's shirt or some crazy ass question from some minute detail, I'm not going to know it. They got a station wagon. It wasn't the right car. They went on vacation. There was a grandma. She died. There was a dog, too. Someone kissed someone's sister. John Candy was at the end in the roller coaster.
That could have been in the movie trailer.
There's so many ways to like figure out what happened in this movie without watching it.
I specifically
did anybody witness you watching it that
it.
we can contact to find out if you watched?
I didn't watch it for weeks on end, months even, and then I finally do, and you guys aren't even going to believe me.
Who was driving next to Clark on the highway?
The girl in the red car.
Who was the girl in the red car?
I don't know. Dude, I don't know.
That's a tough question because I don't know actor or actresses' names either.
Yeah, it's
it's a very famous scene. So all right, I'll give you that. It was Christy Brinkley.
Yes, she still looks great. Damn.
Okay.
Well, that was a movie.
Yeah, they were in a pool at one point.
They don't age in the movies when they're filmed in the 80s.
They were in a pool. The whole entire hotel saw them. Then the kids thought he was going to get a divorce. Yeah.
Okay. What happened when they were driving through the city? They were at the corner. They asked for directions. What happened? Come on.
I don't remember. Is this where the luggage falls off?
He asked for directions. They're in the city. They asked for directions, and the guy's talking to him, telling him where to go. What happens while they're asking for directions?
I honestly don't remember.
Did you see this movie?
Dude, I saw it like a month ago. When was that episode? I watched it like a week before that.
The episode was 2 weeks ago.
So like 4 weeks? I don't know.
So you should remember what happened to them in the city when he's asking for directions.
I got nothing.
They stole the hubcaps from the car.
Oh, I thought that was Jingle All the Way.
No. All right.
I think that happened in Jingle All the Way also.
Did it really? Did they rip that off?
Probably.
Did they rip off dragging the dog down the highway?
No,
it was a grandma.
They dragged the grandma down the highway?
No, I was kidding.
Wow.
They're just driving really slowly.
They had to update it for the
great.
90s. So we can't just do the dog. Let's do the grandma.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we believe that he watched the movie Giddles? Yes or no?
I'm gonna get killed on Twitter for not knowing it.
I feel like he might have seen it, but he's been so busy with work that I'll give him like the slack that he might have forgotten something.
Okay.
But that's about it. Like, I'm still pretty skeptical on it, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I trust Trevor for some reason.
Okay, so I'll vote the same way.
He's revived me one time on Apex Legends, so I have to like trust him.
I did. That was really rough.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'll agree with shut up. That I agree with Giddles that you've seen the movie, or at least the majority of the movie. So
thank you.
With that being said, I will go and watch Little Giants. And then the next time that you're on here, I will give you my review of the movie.
Perfect.
Okay?
I'm very excited.
I think there was one other thing that you were supposed to do. I can't think what it was, because that was the movie bet, but I'll have to go back and listen, because I think there was another thing that you were supposed to do, too.
I'd probably try olives for the 14th time, and I'm still not going to like it.
Still haven't tried olives yet?
No, I've tried like 17 olives.
Yeah, they're not that good.
All right, final story, and then we're gonna get out of here. And this is a big deal for. Are you still playing Fortnite or no?
I want to. I actually like it way better still than Apex Legends.
Okay, fair enough. I have not played Apex Legends. I've watched videos online. I've not played the game. I don't really have an interest in it. Fortnite.
If it's all gonna be cross-platform and we can play 4-player with Matt, then I'm in.
With Fortnite?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what I'm getting at here. So Fortnite did something that no other game franchise or studio has been able to do, and that is to get Sony to agree to playing cross-platform with Xbox. And it has finally been announced that it is happening. The latest Fortnite patch issued earlier this week has changed the game's crossplay significantly. Not only does the game now make players participate in crossplay pools by default, but also Nintendo Switch version the Nintendo Switch version only matches people now with people playing on iOS and Android, keeping them out of the larger console environment. So up until this point, the Switch, as far as the multiplayer matching, the multiplayer matching portion of the game, was playing with Xbox Live people.
Yeah, I was playing Switch my buddy was playing on Switch and I was playing on Xbox.
Yeah, I see.
And PC people. So we were all three of us were playing cross-platform.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But
The
now
only person who couldn't play was PS4.
well, now the dynamic has changed because the Switch can't play with Xbox anymore right now. So Switch is only playing with the phone people on the iOS and the Android. Xbox people and PC people are now going to be able to play with people on PlayStation 4. So combining the PS4 and the Xbox One player bases all comes with a requirement to the opt-in crossplay, says Epic, which I guess is the game company that owns Fortnite.
Yes.
Players opting out are restricted to creative mode and playgrounds. Crossplay is now the standard for console and mobile players, although that's not necessarily a huge change. I guess I haven't played in a while, so I guess that's the new standard for it. There's good news, though, for friends playing on different consoles. They can still invite each other to play Fortnite, regardless of the platform. It's just random matchmaking that comes with the new restrictions on the player pools. So if you're just hopping in, it's like just pair me with anybody, right, to go do something. If you're on Xbox, you can only get Xbox people or PlayStation 4. If you're on PlayStation, it's PlayStation and Xbox people. Switch has been cut out of this particular version of the game where Switch only can do it with other people on the Switch, iOS, or Android. But if you invite somebody to play on your team from like say, because we're all on Xbox, if we invite Matt OG, we can just invite him into anything we're doing, and he can now play with us cross-platform.
But just on Fortnite.
Just on Fortnite.
Yeah, we can't play cross-platform on like Overwatch.
No, but this is a huge ordeal because this has never happened before, and it took a game of this caliber to finally make it. And like, look, Rockstar couldn't even make it happen, and they have the biggest games of all time between the Red Dead franchise, the Grand Theft Auto franchise, and they couldn't get everybody on the same page.
I'll tell you, the reason why it's happening is because Xbox was playing with the Switch and playing with the PC, and PlayStation people were getting really upset, and I think that's why this happened. Because I talked to a lot of PlayStation people who were like, I really wish I could play this with you guys, but PlayStation doesn't want to open their servers. They don't want to go cross-platform.
I think,
yeah, that was more Sony than I think Xbox.
Yeah, it was more of course Sony it was Sony, because Sony's always difficult. But the fact that, not too long ago, maybe 2 months ago, Nintendo makes that deal with Xbox where they can cross-platform from the Switch to the Xbox, and then Xbox Live Games, the downloadable arcade, is available on the Switch. That was unheard of. And that's a huge step in as far as video games go, and even the console stuff goes. So for Nintendo, which is a powerhouse with game franchises, and Xbox, which is a powerhouse with software, with the hardware and their own game franchises, for them to play nice with each other, and then it's just PlayStation over there being the asshole because Sony won't let them come over and play. It forced their fan base to say, Sony, fuck you. I'm not going to do half this shit, or I'm not going to buy your stuff anymore if we can't do the cross-platform. I'll go get a PC.
Well, yeah, that, and then like Xbox had some stuff leaked, or some new things coming up with like gameplay and stuff that's coming on that's making things more attractive. So I think PlayStation, or if they're the reason, which I'm pretty sure they're the reason why this is all going cross-platform now, just saw the writing on the wall and was like, we better start to join in on this now.
They're going to fall behind real quick.
We don't want to fall behind while they're still way ahead in the console game, because that's the irony of it all, is they're still way ahead. Like there's still way more PS4s than there are Xboxes and Switches.
Right. But if I wanted to be a gamer today, right? If I was to go buy out something brand new for the first time, just with the society that we're in today, I would pick a PC. Now, on the opposite side of that, if I'm going to go buy a console because I'm going to buy it for my son or daughter or something like that, I'm not going to get a PC. PlayStation 4 is the most expensive one. It's not the top of the list for me here. And I think it became the fourth item you would think of when buying something for gaming. And something like this also need to happen to keep Fortnite relevant. That's probably why the people at Epic were pushing for it so hard. I mean, they have lost a ton of money because of Apex.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of factors involved in all of this happening.
And I'm sure that
hold on a second. Is Apex
Fortnite was just we have to push everything out that we have that's in the back room. This is going to be released next year. No, we're pushing it out now, and it didn't work. So now they had to pull the next big trigger.
Is Apex available on all platforms?
Yes.
Or is it just like an Xbox PC kind of game?
No, it's PC, Xbox, PlayStation. It's all of them.
Okay.
I don't think it's on Switch though.
I don't think it's on Switch.
Well, that's fine. I mean, some more adult games not being on the Switch, I get, because that's always been Nintendo's
Yeah, the controls
stance.
on that little control would be awkward.
Right,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I didn't know if this was just like one of those exclusive games, because, Sony pays a lot of money to game developers to either get exclusive franchises that are only available on PlayStation,
Well, they
or...
all do. Xbox does it too.
No, I know, but I'm saying, but what PlayStation does that Xbox, I don't really see many examples of, PlayStation will spend even more money to have a game released as a PlayStation game for like a month before the Xbox version comes out.
Yeah, I've seen that happen too, where they get like the exclusive for like a month and then it comes out a little later.
Yeah, then it comes out everything else, which is, look, I get it. If you have the money and you want to secure your marketplace, that's fine. It's also kind of shitty towards the gamers who want to play the actual thing, but they might be taking a page from the lessons that Nintendo learned in the 90s, where they just rested too comfortably on what they were doing. Then all of a sudden Sega Genesis showed up and was pushing the boundaries, but then they had TurboGrafx and Neo Geo, which didn't really set the world on fire, but they took enough out of Nintendo's sale to let other platforms, and the PlayStation showed up. And then PlayStation started going head-to-head with Nintendo and beating Nintendo for the longest time until Xbox finally showed up. So I think they learned for the fact that they can't rest on being the number one gaming console, the number one gaming platform for now, and just think, no, we're going to do it because we're Sony. When you start getting that attitude and giving that impression as a company, your fan base and just gamers in general will be like, okay, cool. You think we're not playing by your rules just because they don't want to play and be told what to do with their games.
Well, I think they're also looking, because you could look outside of video games and just look at Apple versus Android, whereas, Android has so many different aspects, kind of like Xbox, where you could play with the PC, you could play with this, you could do all these different things with Android, and like Apple Store is like Apple Store stuff, and it's specific, and you can only get it there, and you can only use their things.
Right.
And I think they look at that model too, and it's like, well, how do we make this just so that everybody can be involved? And they don't want to fall behind.
No,
you can't fall behind. And Xbox today was just announced that you can stream and play your PC games on your Xbox, so you can play all your computer games on your Xbox now.
Oh wow, I've been doing the opposite this whole entire time.
Yeah, so now you could do it the other way. You can stream your PC games to your Xbox and play them with your controller.
How do you have to have the PC on and let that run and stream over to your Xbox, or does it go up into the Microsoft Cloud server and you pull it from there?
No, it's not like you're using the cloud stuff. It's like you're using your PC and it's streaming it to play through your Xbox.
Yeah, like what I do right now is the Xbox on in the other room, but because of my Wi-Fi, it hooks up to my computer.
Okay. I think I get it. All right, well, that music means it's time to get out of here, and we need to do the plugs. Giddles, what do you have?
We got Giddle Base on the Twitter, Instagram, and Xbox Live. And a week from Sunday, March 24th, I'm doing the chocolate takedown at Lot 45 in Bushwick. Ooh. So if you're in the Brooklyn area and you want to come out and eat a whole bunch of chocolate, come to the chocolate takedown March 24th.
That sounds pretty good.
Literally.
I see what you did. Trevor, what do you have?
At BTG Trevor on Twitter, BTG Rocks on Xbox Live, at Podcast Dummies everywhere else and across all social media platforms. I've been so busy that I haven't been able to follow any of those accounts, so please interact with me.
All right. Matt OG, the nation's eyes turn to you. What do you have, sir?
Geek Stuff OG across all these social media platforms. You can follow me Twitch, which is, I guess, my big push right now, twitch.com/GeekStuffOG. And I guess then Geek Stuff. New episodes of Geek Stuff go online every Thursday at bkgeekstuff.com.
All right. And for me, it's eRock across the board, but more importantly, the show. It's Erik Nagel across the board. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're getting closer to hitting that 1,000 subscriber barrier. So if you could help us break through that, we'd really appreciate it. As we call it, the set it and forget it. Just go, subscribe, and then you never have to interact with it ever again. Just do us the solid if you can. 651-SMITHERS is the phone number. 651-764-8437. If you'd like to leave a message for the show to be used in future broadcasts, we would appreciate that. And with that being said, until the next time, Matt OG,
be excellent to each other.
And have a wonderful time.
I don't have anything anymore, do I?
Nope. We'll be seeing you.
Be seeing you, Trevors.
It's Erik Nagel.
I want to do it again.
We can't do it again.
Why not?
Because it's weird.
Bless we're out of time.
Follow It's Eric Nagel on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. For ways to listen to the show, go to itsericnagel.com. And remember to tell 2 friends so they can tell 2 friends. And they can tell 2 friends. And they can tell 2 friends. And those 2 friends can tell 2 friends. Well,